All right, here we go again. Here we go again. Man, you have to have patience, boy. You definitely gotta have patience. For real. How we looking out there? Volume okay? Is our volume okay? How we looking out there? Yeah, I promise this will not happen again. Hell no. So when you think you got it right and figured out, it turns out that's not that's not the way to do it. Or, you know, it's just not working. And my most difficult time is my volume, and it'd be beautiful to have somebody, you know, to let me know that my volume is okay. But at the moment, that's not what's possible. So we're gonna just kick it until we get some. You sound better now. Okay. Okay, we got you. We got you. The sound is much better now. Okay, got it. All right. I don't know what the problem was in the beginning, but basically I did the same thing this time, but it's electronic. It's electronic. And my sound is better, so I sound better than before. That's all that matters. All right. So speaking of electronic, right? This is electronic. I love electronic, but at the same time, electronic is man made, right? So I like to always say that if you're been diagnosed with something, do not weigh yourself down by it, because man and machine can only tell you what's going on right now. They cannot predict the future, right? So a lot of times you get diagnosed, you let it determine how you feel, how you act, how you treat people, basically how you act. Sometimes you let it control your emotions. I mean, sometimes the diagnosis might not be correct, when best case scenario, you get a second or third opinion, or it's just something that is not, it's not even that serious, but you might have took it there. So not buying in too much into electronics, and understanding that, just like how electronics cannot tell you, what's going to happen in the future. So do not weigh yourself down by a news that you get. The same way electronics is going to help to fix us in the future. So I'm figuring out my electronic right now, you know what I'm saying, as I go. So hopefully, we won't keep having these same issues. But I just want to say thank you for tapping in, for tuning into this live at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is the most important time of the day for me, specifically because when I was in hospital dealing with cancer and my chemotherapy, 7 o'clock was the time when all your family, your visitors would have to leave, and you're left alone. And that time is time that I spent to get my mind right, so I could better be prepared for my experience in the hospital. So I was able to heal myself faster, than if I wasn't in a positive mindset and wasn't properly prepared for everything that was going to happen to me. So this is what this live is for, to reach out to anybody, dealing with any issues. You might be in a hospital, you might have, something, what I'm saying, you're dealing with. At this time, I like to send out some of my energy to anyone out there that needs a push. All right. So just to recap with what's going on so far in my situation currently, I am waiting for a lymph node biopsy that was done last week to confirm all the previous diagnoses that I've been told. To basically confirm what kind of cancer I have, and how to treat it. Currently, I'm dealing with lymphoma in the kidneys, lymph nodes, and in the femur as well. So waiting on biopsy to come back. Did it last week. I should have called today, but I was like, I'm gonna be patient. They said 3 days, and today was be the third day. So tomorrow I'm gonna, send out the first phone call, because once I start calling, they gonna get tired of me. But I'm not gonna stress the system. But reach out tomorrow and follow up and see what the result of that biopsy is, so we know exactly how to treat it, what to treat it with. Every cancer is not the same. Every cancer doesn't affect everybody the same. So basically, want to get the right treatment because obviously the last treatment that I have when I was first diagnosed in 2021, 3 years ago, that treatment was not the right treatment for me, for my body at the time being. It might have been the gold standard, right? R-CHOP is the gold standard for lymphoma, right? That's the gold standard. Anywhere you go, any facility you go in America, they're gonna give you the same basic R-CHOP. But because of my situation currently, when I got diagnosed with cancer, the R-CHOP worked against me, right? Worked against me. So, we already spoke to the oncologist and come to the understanding that we're not going to use the same method of treatment. We're going to try something different, mix some of this, mix with some of that, try a little different cocktail. So we can start the ball rolling because take advantage of time, trying to trying to fight back because really at the moment my body's getting beat up by the cancer cells because they keep multiplying. Currently my left leg is swollen because the lymph nodes are pushing against the blood vessels. So there's a constant pressure that I'm dealing with. But the whole thing is to start treatment as fast as possible because that's the best way to beat cancer. That's the best way to deal with cancer. Um, is to attack it as fast as possible and as much as possible. So, I'm just excited to be able to start treatment soon. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that I'm glad that my oncologist is so active. My oncologist made sure things got rescheduled. My oncologist made sure because it's a different situation when your doctors understand the severity of the situation. Because of the severity of the situation, a lot of things that would have took longer to happen, you know, quicker. Appointments that was 2 weeks out ended up getting rescheduled, so you just gotta be thankful and be patient. As two things I am, thankful and patient, right? I'm a professional patient, right? You have to be very patient, um, in your own patient care, active and patient in your own patient care. And being patient, comes with being level headed, comes with understanding every day is not the same, come with having a system. Okay, because right now I have a system of how I deal with my pain. I have a pain regimen. I have a time that I schedule things. And what the craziest thing was, I'm so into my zone that I didn't even take my pain medication before I came on this live, and I usually do. And that's why I save my pain medication right for 6:30, so I could take it before I come on this live, so I don't be dealing with any kind of pain because of whatever issues that I'm dealing with. So having a strategy, having a plan, what I'm saying, is one of or is the best way to deal with a situation is to like have a strategy and a plan um of how to go about. And it's not only specific with cancer, this is with life in general. Having a plan um is the best case scenario. But my thing is taking advantage of your situations, taking advantage of your situation, right? Planning pretty much is like you planning for your plan, right? With the mindset and with the right mindset, you're gonna set your body to rest and get the most out of your rest, right? So the next day you're rested and ready for the challenges. Because especially if you're in a hospital, the daily challenges that comes with not only your body trying to rehab, but the world happening around you, what I'm saying? It takes a lot. It takes a lot from you. So if you're mentally not tuned into some kind of game or some kind of strategy of how to deal with your day-to-day situation. Me personally, I was in the hospital I did 5 chemo treatments out of 6. And at times I was in the hospital for a month at a time. So when you spend that much time in the hospital, it felt like I was in a cell. You know what I'm saying? Like I was institutionalized, shackled to the little medication stick, right? So, what I'm saying? Having a plan is half a reason why I'm able to still be what you see in front of you with so much energy, still, you know what I'm saying, able to, you know what I'm saying, come on here and give back. So besides the lymphoma, biopsy, right, I also did a PET scan. And PET scan is, I spoke about it on Friday. A PET scan is a scan where they scan your entire body to see where, you know what I'm saying, and how severe is the cancer in your body from head to toe, right? So I'm waiting for that as well. I did that test Thursday. I did the lymph node biopsy Wednesday. So I'm giving it enough time, you know what I'm saying, for things to happen. You know, usually when time these things happen, they hit your chart automatically. I didn't receive an update yet, so you know what I'm saying, I'm not too jumpy to check my chart or anything because I'm giving them at least 3 business days for that to come in. But you know what I'm saying, that's what's going on at the moment. And to me, that's like, you know, that's exciting right now in my life. I'm excited. Christmas is around the corner, but Christmas ain't got nothing like having to get chemo started, because I know that my life is going to have a chance to continue. You understand? Hear what I said? You hear what I said? I know my life is going to have a chance to continue. Right now, you know, sad to say, you know, the reality is, you know, what I'm facing is what I'm facing, right? But with treatment and with doctors and people around me, I am going to be able to overcome this situation and get better. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully y'all can learn from it, and also help to make, you know what I'm saying, situation easier if you or anyone you know might happen to um come across cancer in any kind of way. Because you know, as you get older, more people you know are going to be exposed to cancer. As you get older, more you're going to hear cancer more and more and more. Cancer, 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 right? As you get older, your aunties, your uncles, people, you know, your older people, you know, and then people your age, as you get older, it's gonna just keep on. You're gonna hear it more and more and more and more and more. That's just based on the numbers. That's just, you know, besides heart disease, it's cancer, and I think something else that most people die from, right? So you're gonna hear it. So at least what I'm doing, I'm hoping that, you know, somebody can learn from me and, you know, make their battle with cancer not so hard, but more or less, you know, more understanding of what you're going against. So you know where, you know what is your fight, you know how you can fight, how you can make it better for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just going in there blindfolded, you know, because that's never the best option. And I'm an example to show you. Just because, you know, a treatment is the gold standard or whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean it has to work. This is the gold standard treatment that everybody then took. You know what I'm saying? Age don't matter. And, you know, my situation is different than a lot of other people. So, you know, just taking the time to, you know, take advantage of time and prepping and preparing for things to happen. And my biggest point I'm trying to make is, when you prepare for tomorrow, you take advantage of tomorrow, and you take advantage of the next day. And that's how you move forward, right? It's taking advantage and preparing for the day to come. It's like you're taking a test. You don't wait for the day of the test to study. You prepare for it, so when that day come, you know what I'm saying, you just get it out the way. Right. So this is how I approach the life. In the same way of preparing for the day. I prepare for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Prepare for tomorrow today. And you should eventually be able to skip a day or two. All right. Okay, so I want to shout out to someone that left a comment on my last video. I did my Friday live. Dev Cook, right? So eventually I'll be able to throw it up on the screen. But the comment he left was, Marv, good to see you. To Monty, sending love, right? So To Monty is, if I'm not mistaken, that's the second floor in the hospital that I was at when I was dealing with my cancer, right? That was the hospital that I was at when I was dealing with my cancer. So, like I said, I spent a lot of time in the hospital because after the chemo, my system got beat up, and you know, this is what happens, right? After chemo, about a week or so, right, your system gets bombarded, um, with the chemo. It wipes out all your system, all your cells. Now, that's not happening to everybody. Me personally, after a week, my temperature, got up to about 103, 104, and that means there's things going on in your body, bacteria fighting because I don't have enough good bacteria to fight off the bad bacteria, right? So, um, temperature started going up. That means infection, hospital, 24-hour antibiotics. That's the regimen. So because of that, I spend so much time in the hospital. Like I spend days or weeks on every floor in the hospital, all the way from emergency room to the ICU, second two Monty, I think three Monty is the gastro unit, I think four Monty, I forgot what four or five Monty is, and seven Monty is the cancer unit, right? And then you got the other floor, which only special people go there, right? So basically, I'm on every floor, you know what I'm saying, throughout all my stays. So, you know, to hear somebody shout me out from Tumonti, that's another reason why, what I'm saying, I'm doing this live as well, is that I'm glad that I'm able to reach out to certain people. Because one thing about the hospital, if you're not admitted to the hospital, you can't go there. So, what I'm saying, if you want to go back and say, what I'm saying, thank you to somebody, like you can't go into the hospital. So how you gonna see these people to like thank them for them, what I'm saying, taking care of you and helping you get back to who you are. So, it was a great feeling when I seen that message from Two Monty, man. My Monty crew. You know what I'm saying? The Monty crew. I know who y'all is. From each and every floor in the hospital, man. Y'all some amazing people. Most definitely. Right? You know what I'm saying? And I was there. It was interesting because a lot of people see me as a 38-year-old and be like, wow, how this dude get cancer already? You know what I'm saying? So it kind of connected with me. It kind of because they was in the same age or even younger some of the time. So it was like wow, and they kind of like rallied around me. Like I said, every floor, and there's great people. You know what I'm saying? There's great people. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is my thing is the team of employees that help. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? To me is special. From the you're gonna hear me say this, from the person that comes get you when you gotta get your X-rays. You know what I'm saying? They might take you down to the X-ray machine and leave you there for 2 hours, but that's not their fault. Or they might take an hour or two to come get you back from your X-ray. You gotta lay there for an hour or two, but that still ain't their fault. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that you gotta be ready for, or you know what I'm saying, programmed to when you go into the hospital. And being able to waiting after being transported here and there, that's a part of it. But the people that transport you, to the people that fix the room up, you know what I'm saying, clean up the room, to the people that bring you your food, you know what I'm saying, everybody, you gotta be able to, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be able to get along with people, you know what I'm saying. You might need an extra, you know, extra frosted flakes or extra orange, you know what I'm saying, and you just like, yo, send me up an extra orange, you know what I'm saying. You gotta be cool with people. You feel me? So everybody in the hospital, you know what I'm saying, served a purpose, from the aides to the nurses, the NPs, the doctor. Everybody, served a purpose. Nobody's more important than the other, right? So being in there so long and being moved around so often, I got a chance to meet with a lot of people, man. Met a lot of great people. There's a lot of, I'm saying, a lot of great people work in healthcare, right? You can always hear me say that. Um, Yeah, as a matter of fact, my wife was even hospitalized, was even in the hospital for about 3 weeks. Prior, I think a couple months prior like the year prior, during the 2020, my wife was in the hospital for her issue. I think we was on 3 Montes gastro, so you know what I'm saying? And I was there for 30 days and 30 nights, it seemed like, because I was there with her every day, every night, because it was one of those moments where you don't know if you're coming or going. You don't know if we're gonna be with each other, you know what I'm saying, for the next day or the next day. So, you know what I'm saying, we locked in and we made sure that she wasn't going nowhere. And I tell you, that surgeon that came through in the clutch, that surgeon came through in the clutch and did what he had to do. For that, to order man some jerk chicken. All right, but yeah, man, spent a lot of time in the hospital and met a lot of beautiful people, right? So one of the things I want to give right quick is a quick tip, right? A quick tip to the men that spend time in the hospital, days per se, you know what I'm saying, or weeks, whatever, right? There's a urinal that you see. My situation, I was in a bed a lot, bedridden a lot, not bedridden like I couldn't get out, but bedridden because it was hard to get out, right? And when you in the bed, you got the rails up. You know what I'm saying? I got the IVs coming here and there. I got this hooked up here and there. You know what I'm saying? So to get out the bed, to get to the bathroom, that's a lot, right? So we got the little urinals. You know what I'm saying? You just, you know what I'm saying? Bust it down. 1, 2, 3, and you know what I'm saying? So my thing is the urinal that us men use when we're at the hospital for extended stay. Make sure you get these nurses and these aides to either rinse out your urinal or get you a new one. All right? Just emptying it, bringing it back, that ain't enough. That's not enough, especially with me. My immune system ain't it. So if you're gonna empty, you're gonna have to rinse or bring me a new one. That ain't it. You understand what I'm saying? So a little bedside etiquette for any of these brothers out there that have to be in the hospital for 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, month or more. Have them rinse that urinal. I'll get you a new one. You know what I'm saying? It's really that simple. But a lot of the times, you know what I'm saying, the nurses and the aides, they accommodate you, no problem. There's a lot. These nurses and these aides have a lot to do. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't speak up, sometimes they're gonna go tend to somebody that's speaking up, because if it's an issue, then that's why they're speaking up. It's not an issue to you, so you don't speak up. A lot of times it's just that simple. You're not speaking up about something, and you get ignored. So me, I spoke up. I need me a fresh urinal or rinse that out. Might need that. Hit that with some soap. You know what I'm saying? Because it's serious in the hospital, and anybody can tell you, hospital is one of the places where you have to be careful. The longer you spend in the hospital, you are more chance of you getting sicker than when you came in the hospital, right? That happened to me in one of my stays, and I caught C. diff. And C. diff was like some bacteria, right? But the thing about catching C. diff was I was able to get a room by myself, right? So a lot of times when I went to the hospital, because of my ability to easily get sick, and everything's, and also COVID was going on at the same time. Sometimes, half of the time, a lot of the time, I got my own room, my own bathroom. You know what I'm saying? It was like a hotel. That's why I always call it the hospital hotel. What I would do was like I had my own room, own bathroom. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I was shackled to the medicine pole, 24 IV bed. You know what I'm saying? Crashing in bed, ain't going nowhere, right? So yeah, that's my tip, right? That's my tip for the fellas. Now, I did a video a while back about when was the best time to cut your hair for chemo. Um like I said, I'm still getting the hang of this stuff. So, I wish I was knowledgeable enough I could just throw the video on, show it to you right quick. But if you go to my video list, the name of the video is When to Cut Your Hair for Chemo. Right? Want to check it out, check it out. But that's the video that I'm referenced. And it's the video that showed, because I thought it would be valuable at that time to let people understand what it is about your hair falling out because of chemo, and when is the best time to cut your hair? Because this is something I never hear nobody else talk about. And when I say talk about, this is so crazy. You don't hear nobody talking about it because cancer is not something that is like, when you go to the barbershop, you don't hear nobody talk about cancer, right? That's why when I go to the barbershop, I talk about it. I talk about my situation. And shout out to my boy Shaba. Shout out to Jay, Jay the Barber, the OG on the Ave for probably over 20, 30 years now. You know what I'm saying? You retired. You know what I'm saying? Much respect to you, Jay. I love you. Big brother, big uncle. You know what I'm saying? You retired recently, so you know what I'm saying? I spent about 15 years on Jamaica Avenue, um, cutting. I was a barber, right? So, you know, something like that to me is important information when to cut your hair before it falls out, right? So, you know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, shout out to my man Shaba on Merrick, Talented Hands Barbershop. I think 219, 220, somewhere there on Merrick. I'm gonna come see you soon, all right? We're gonna do a live from the barbershop soon. My man Shaba working, working, you know what I'm saying? He's using his time to try to facilitate to help me do what I'm trying to do. So big ups to you, Shaba, for helping out in the background. So this video that I did was about hair and when was the best time to cut hair, because after chemo, 7 to 10 days, your hair starts to get weak. You know what I'm saying? And you could pull it out. So in the video, I showed you how easily it was to pull it out. And after like, I think 14 days, you see how easily that the hair just kind of like came out effortlessly. And then after like, I think 15 or 16 days, you just brush your hand on it and the hair just falls out. So my whole thing was before you hit the 10th day, I think it was the 10th or 11th day, that's the best time to cut your hair, because after that, what's going to happen is you're going to be sleeping and you're going to be twisting and turning. And you're going to wake up, you're going to see a whole patch of hair on your pillow, or you in the shower. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to start seeing hair all over the place. And as the days progress, you're going to see more and more and more and more hair. So I was like, let me make a video about, when it's the best time. So by day, I think day 10 or 11 is the best time to cut it, because it's going to fall anyway. And I had dreads, right? I had dreads, and I thought this amazing Samson ability where I was going to go through chemo and my dreads was not going to fall out. You know what I'm saying? So took the chemo, okay, my hair ain't going to fall out. I'm gonna go through this in 2, 3 weeks. I'm gonna be back on my feet, yada yada yada, back out here going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm walking around the house and my dreads just be falling out. Dreads just started falling out. I was like, oh no. In fact, I wasn't even at the house. I was at the hospital. Cause I remember my wife had to cut my hair at the hospital. So cause it was falling out. But yeah, I gotta forgive me. Sometimes I lose my train of thought, and that is because of something that I'm dealing with. Most chemo patients deal with. It's called chemo brain, where you lose your train of thought and it's hard to remember anything. One of the worst things I had to deal with, or I'm currently still dealing with, is trying to multitask. The brain, or my brain, was incapable of doing two things at one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, listening to a television and somebody else speaking to me at the same time, being able to differentiate what one person said, or record what one person said and then replay it back. And you know what I'm saying? My ability, like, you had to like literally stop. I got to turn and be 100% in attention because my brain wasn't able to compute. So, and this is kind of like this helps me a lot, because I'm saying I'm forced to dive into learning about new things, and you know force new brain cells to start populating and retraining my body and everything to function at a high rate again. So, and now every now and then as I'm talking, I might lose my train of thought, and that's the reason why. So what I'm saying, don't and if there's something I'm talking about and y'all want me to go back and I didn't cover it correctly, just throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat just to keep me on cue, because what I'm saying, it's a lot to keep up with everything. But As far as what I'm okay, I was talking about the I was talking about the chemo, the haircut. So um the haircut, right? So that was the reason for me doing the video, was to inform anyone of, you know what I'm saying, what happens with chemo in here, because like I said, I never heard anybody speak about what happens to your hair on chemo. And as a barber in a barber shop for over 15 years, I never that conversation never happened in my presence, being a barber on Jamaica Avenue for 15 years. So that information was important to me. So that's why I did the video. And we're gonna redo that video, and keep pushing on. So now I'm trying to update you on what happened, or the what's the deal now with my hair, right? So right now, as you see, my hair is somewhat of like a dark Caesar, right? At this point, my skull, my head follicles, like right around here, it starts getting tender, and it starts getting sore, right? The head starts getting sore, and it starts getting sore to the touch, right? Don't know why. Doctors can't tell me why it is, but that doesn't matter. Sometimes there's a reason why doctors don't know. They just doctors don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you don't need an explanation. Just be happy you're still alive, and it's not that big. It's not big of a deal, right? So this part around my head gets tender after about 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks worth of hair, right? And I was gonna cut it today, but I said, you know what? I should wait and let y'all see what it is before I cut it. If I'm gonna reference it, it'd be better if you can see what I'm referencing if I'm talking about it. So this is when my hair I have to cut it now at 2 weeks, because if I let it grow anymore, it's almost like the hair, especially when I sleep, it's almost like the hair is pushing back into my skull, into the skin in my head, and it's sore and it hurts, right? And after a while, these little pimples, these little bumps are gonna start developing in my head, right? These bumps, right? Um, yeah. So if I wait up to 3 weeks, my head is gonna start developing in bumps and sores, and it's not gonna. So I don't wait that long. I usually cut it every 2 weeks, and I had dreads, and I was hoping that I would go back to my dreads as soon as all this stuff was over, but that's not possible, right? So you know what I'm saying? Rasta in the art. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to. But my son is carrying it on for me. You know what I'm saying? And my son actually cut his dreads when I had to cut mine. You know what I'm saying? And he grew his back. He grew his back. So he's still rocking the dreads. You know what I'm saying? Representing for the family, right? So this thing that happens to my skull is a series of eczema that I've been dealing with, that turns your body into like a hot spot, right? Once the eczema gets activated from your skin getting damaged, whether it be from like dryness or hurt, you hit yourself, or anything that cause any irritation or inflammation to the skin, will cause the skin to develop these bumps. And this is an example of, I don't know if you can see how this is very light. The steroid bleaches out your skin. So I have these bumps pop up all over my body, and they spread into like little gashes, like little less than a dime size. If you don't if I don't get on it right, like as soon as I feel it, I gotta start ointment it up, because you don't realize sometimes what it is, and you might scratch it and it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those pimples, and before you know it, it's get aggravated, and it, what I'm saying, can inflame and getting worse. And the worst part about it is, once one part of your body gets activated, anywhere else in your body that gets triggered turns into one of these eczema, pimple bumps, whatever you want to call them. So that's one of the side effects from the cancer, right? That's one of the side effects from the cancer that I'm dealing with. And it's a weird one, because I never had any issues with eczema. I never had any skin issues. You know what I'm saying? And this condition pops up everywhere, everywhere, and it recurs. You might put cream on it and it goes away, but a couple weeks, a month later, it comes back. So you gotta be on it all the time. And this thing pops up anywhere. I'm saying this even pops up in the middle of my hands. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? This in the middle of your hand? But with the cream and ointment, I'm saying? It works. You know what I'm saying? It works. Technology works. Medicine works. No matter how bad it is, I'm saying? Somebody gonna come out with something that's gonna help the situation and make it a whole lot better. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things work. You just have to, put time in, right? Right. So yeah, the hair, cutting of the hair, that's what um after, like I said, about 5 to 10 days. So now as I am 2 weeks in, now I gotta cut it down, right? And like I said, if I wait any longer, um sores, everything is gonna come from that. So all of these things, and this is a side effect that I've been dealing with for almost 2 years now, right? And every so often a new side effect might show itself, but every time something happens, there's a treatment. Every time, you know what I'm saying? So it's not even what happens really. Is there a treatment for it? Is there something that you can take for it? And is there a regimen that you can adapt to make it livable or not so big of an issue for you, right? So I always want to go back to why, what I'm saying, we're doing this live, and it's to inspire, it's to reach out to anybody in the need, a push, any energy, what I'm saying, to get to the next day, because that's what I'm here, was because of, what I'm saying, the people that poured into me and was able to get me going and understanding how important it is to uh get my mind and body in the right sense to where, what I'm saying, I can take advantage of the day. And most of the time, you know, I didn't know what to expect. Most of the time, it was just day by day. And if the doctors didn't come to me and say to me like, "Yo, you can't be in a bed all day. You can't do this," I would have stayed in that bed. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tell you. If the doctors didn't come to me and let me know you can't just stay in the bed, you have to move. You got to do this. You got to do that. I would have stayed. So I'm assuming that you might be in the same situation, and I'm trying to do for you what the doctor did for me is by letting you know you can't stay in that bed, you can't stay in that situation. Because if that doctor didn't say anything to me, you know what I'm saying, the doctor might could have just kept going about his business. You know what I'm saying? But that doctor poured into me and he let me understand that, yo, get your butt up, you gotta move around. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm a strong dude, but at the moment, who can be strong when you facing, so much. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like if these things didn't happen, I wouldn't even be here, regardless of the treatment. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say the drugs don't heal you. Is what your body's able to do with the drugs that heal you. Because no matter what, if I didn't want to live, if I didn't fight, if I didn't want to get up every day and being a positive and, I'm saying, not putting more stress on my body and myself, I wouldn't be here today. I know that for a fact. You know what I'm saying? Because of how serious the situation was. Right? So you just gotta be thankful, man. And I'm just trying to, do for everybody what was done for me. You know what I'm saying? And keep that energy going. It's what we talk about, that 7 p.m. energy is to get ready, you know what I'm saying, for the next day. And this is what I'm always gonna tell you. Tap into this source, right? Tap into this energy source. You know what I'm saying? So you can get that motivation that you need. And a lot of times when I was in the hospital, a lot of people was there by themselves. They didn't have no family. You know what I'm saying? So I could just imagine it's still that way today. And here we are. We're going into another year, right? It's about to be this. Matter of fact, it is December. It's about to be January, right? COVID is back. COVID is here. You know what I'm saying? Um, my son might have COVID, to be honest with you, right? He took his test, you know what I'm saying, and he's waiting for the results. So life be happening, bro. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You cannot, you gotta be ready, right? So every time, different times is a certain amount of readiness you gotta get to. When it comes to December, right, going into January, February, over the last 3, 4 years, COVID has been, high. So when you're in my situation, you have a compromised immune system. You have to be on it. You know what I'm saying? My life, I live like COVID is 24/7 is high risk. That's how I live on a daily basis, right? So certain things is normal for me. You know what I'm saying? Being in a certain high intense environment and being aware of like so many things, that's normal for me. I function in that kind of environment, right? But you might not be forced to understand what's going on or forced to deal with the severity of certain situations. So you might just, nonchalantly go about life. But when it hits December, that's when the flu season start coming around. That's when you got to be careful. That's when we were inside. That's when we were forced to be around each other more. In the summertime, you was outside, and but winter time, December, January, February, that's one of the most dangerous times because of what I'm saying, the flu and now COVID, right? So being able to prepare and understand, what I'm saying, what's going on, what you're gonna do, is very important. So is back. And for me, this is this is my time of year because I'm always fighting something, and this is you know whether it's chemo, whether it's rehab, whatever it is, for the past 3 years, every month, every week has been something different. So I've been running on this level for a while now. So what I'm saying, for me, it's not an issue, right? So I'm just saying, keep an eye open, understand your environment. You know what I'm saying? Prepare for tomorrow to make the best of it, and prepare for the change that's about to come because it seems like COVID might be knocking at my door. You know what I'm saying? Because my son um might be positive for COVID, but hopefully he's not. But speaking of COVID, there was a time when I was in the hospital, right? I think it was after my third treatment, and same thing happened again. Temperature got too high, had to go to the emergency room, and I ended up staying there for a while, right? Um, lost my thought again. Whew. Um, right, COVID. So I had caught the flu at the hospital, and I never caught the flu before. And I'm telling you, I used to think the flu was trash. It was nothing, but that flu was serious. I had the flu for about 3 weeks. Shit kicked my butt. It was bad, right? So immune system was down. Immune system was able to come back up and send me home. I had the flu. Okay, boom. Remember, I tell you, when you're in the hospital for an extended period of time, you run a chance of getting even sicker. So I get you know, I get to leave the hospital, whatever, right? So now I'm home, right? 3 days later, boom, wife tests positive for COVID, right? But my wife knows that my immune system is low, so when she sleeps next to me, she sleep with a mask, right? Normal environment in the hospital is everybody got to have a mask on. A patient, visitors, nurses, everybody has a mask on. So when I come home, I assume the same role because my immune system is compromised. So when my wife sleep, she sleeps with a mask, right? So 3 days after I come home, 3 days after being home, she tests positive for COVID. Yeah, right. She gets quarantined. So then my son, you know what I'm saying, he slept next to me because, you know, throughout the night, sometimes I have breathing issues. I might stop breathing or, he sleep, they make sure that I'm okay throughout the night, right? So I think a day or two after my son is sleeping next to him, now my son tests positive for COVID, right? So now they both quarantined, right, in my son's room. So now it's like, now I'm thinking like, wait a minute, did I really have the flu or do I have COVID? Because there's no way that these people sleeping next to me and they getting COVID. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not getting it. Like, what's going on, right? But it seemed that's how it happened. I don't know how they caught the COVID, but they had the COVID and the symptoms, the chest and the pain and the inflammation and you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot. My wife, she was dealing with, you know what I'm saying, her issues already. So the side effects that came from her dealing with COVID, it lingered on for months after she finished the treatment. And my son was even beat up. He was a little asthmatic as a youngin, so he had to go through a lot of issues dealing with COVID and breathing, and you know what I'm saying. He took a while to get back to himself as well. But they both had COVID. For 2 weeks they had to be quarantined, and we all had to share, you know what I'm saying, share our space, share the, they stayed in the room, but they had to use the bathroom or whatnot. So I had to use the bathroom too. So we had to make sure everything was sprayed down, wiped down. You know what I'm saying? But we was able to all stay in the same area, and you know what I'm saying. My daughter pretty much took care of everything, right? My daughter made sure everything was, you know what I'm saying, everything that my wife, my son, and I did, she did it for those 3 weeks while she was, you know what I'm saying, doing everything she did, right? My what happened after chemotherapy video, um, that video TikTok speaks a lot about my third, was it my third chemo treatment? Yeah, my third chemo treatment and how that visit was. That's a visit where, that's a visit where COVID paid a visit. You know what I'm saying? So imagine dealing with COVID in your house, two people getting COVID, and you just getting brought home from not having no immune system, and now you stayed in the hospital so long that you caught something, right? That's probably what happened too. She probably caught COVID for being in the hospital so long. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things, man. You gotta hurry up and get out of there. Hurry up, get healed up. Hurry up and get stitched up, patched up, hurry up and get up out of there. Get up out the hospital as fast as you can. Cause 2 times I was in there for over a month and I got sick. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why how my wife ended up catching COVID. It was because we was in the hospital for so long. So understanding the psyche. That's what I'm saying. If my doctors never told me to get up and move around and start acting differently, I would not be sitting in front of you the way I am sitting in front of you now. Somebody had to tell me or teach me what or how to survive, how to recover. Right? Somebody had to teach me how to recover. It's not just go to the hospital and take medication and then magic happens. No. You have to be active in your patient care. You have to participate. You have to be a participant, right? And you have to at least show up with the willingness to wanna fight for yourself, right? And that what I mean when I say that is the fight for yourself is not just letting go, right? Not just letting go. And a lot of the times, when you're dealt certain things, it's like, oh well, might as well. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times too, if your situation before getting diagnosed with something was not most optimal, like you know what I'm saying, you didn't live, you know what I'm saying, you wasn't enjoying your situation before you got diagnosed. Now you got diagnosed with something that's like life threatening, like I could just imagine where that person's energy is at. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things we can do to help each other. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things we can do to help each other, and that is what I'm doing here, is trying to create this cancer silent killer awareness network. Everybody that's a subscriber is a member of this network, right? Everybody that's a subscriber is a member of this network, and we up at this network is trying to help, you know what I'm saying, anyone and everyone that's dealing with any issues, you know what I'm saying, especially if it's cancer, to understand that there are ways to go about healing. There are ways to go about a lot of things. There's ways to go about a lot of things in life, but there's a formula, right? And we have to share with each other our experiences and what we know about, cancer and these things. The people with cancer and the people that don't have cancer have to come together and fight against cancer, right? The people with cancer don't have enough energy, right? But once we get up out the fight and defeat cancer, we have the knowledge. We share it with the people that don't have the cancer, and less people is going to get cancer, and it's going to have an effect on less people. And eventually, what I'm saying? This world that we live in is not going to be the same. 10 years from now is not going to be the same. Technology is going to be different. So having an active mind that's going to push that forward is necessary. Being an active part of society by thinking and trying to help push forward, certain things in life. Who knows? Um, your son or daughter might become a doctor or might become a scientist, or what I'm saying. You might play a role in moving the needle forward as far as healthcare, and especially as far as cancer, because man, cancer doesn't see color, that cancer doesn't see sex, cancer doesn't see age. And we lose a lot of great people because cancer is so dangerous, man. It's so dangerous. And if I can do something that can have an effect on the amount of people we lose because of cancer, because this is how I look at it. See, like it's itching. Like all of this right here is itching bad. As soon as this video's over, I'm cutting it. Best believe that. But I lost my train of thought again. Um, I lost my train of thought again. But I was talking about how important it is to fight against cancer, man. Oh man, I forgot my train of thought. Cause my head started itching. But yeah, it comes and it goes, man. But I'm still gonna try to, I'm still here. I'm still sharing. I'm still, advocating. And I was talking about our network and what we doing here and what we trying to do. And is to share, is to empower, and to help the fight. The people with the cancer, without the cancer, we come together, and that's how we're gonna change the world. That is possible, that we can have an effect on the world as far as cancer is concerned, right? Just by being aware. And I think what's very important is spreading the awareness in my age group and anybody that's 40, because I just hit 42. I'm about to be 42 in January, right? I was diagnosed at 38. Um, Understanding that cancer can affect you at any age should put you in the mindset of being prepared, right? And there's two things to fight cancer: awareness. Not even awareness, but early detection through screening, blood tests, whatever. But finding that your cancer is, what it is early, and uh, who that? What's up? That's my son, my boy, Young Ruler. You know what I'm saying? I was telling him you cut your hair. You know what I'm saying? I was telling him you cut your hair when I had to cut mine. You know what I'm saying? Now yours all grown back. You know what I'm saying? He out here shaking his dreads. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, son. Yo, Piff, what's up, boy? You already know. You already know Piff is in the building all day, every day. One of my best supporters right there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, everybody that's a member of this channel, man, is a part of Cancer Silent Killer. Is a part of this awareness network, right? And what we're doing is spreading awareness, and we saving lives, right? The way I look at it, I was minding my business. You know what I'm saying? Doing me, taking care of my family, trying to get to this money, right? Because I was trading. Like I said before, I was day trading before I got sick. I was getting to the bag. Me and my family was about to live it up. And out of nowhere, dude named Cancer, you know what I'm saying, run up on me and decide that he want to pick on me in my situation. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? I had 3 friends in the same age group in the 30s that had to battle with cancer, and they're not here today. I lost more friends to cancer than gun violence, right? So the way I look at it, I'm minding my business, right? Piff, you can feel me on this. I'm minding my business, and Cancer dude run up on me, you know what I'm saying? I was able to survive. So now that I survived, I feel like there's a war against this dude. So now my job is to save everybody that comes across cancer. I'm saving them from this dude. You feel me? The way I look at it, you shouldn't have messed with this dude. You should have mind your business. You should have left me alone, right? So now that you came at me, you ain't take me out. So now that I'm still here, I feel like my job is to save everybody before you get to them. You know what I'm saying? So this is personal. This is personal. This is personal. This is personal. So that's what we trying to do. That's what I'm doing. Is I'm trying to have an effect. I'm trying to save. I'm trying to see if I could have an effect because I was minding my business. I swear this is how I feel about it. I was minding my business. When I say minding my business, I was eating right, exercising, doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? To put my body in an optimal position. And I know that's why I am the way I am today. That's why I'm able to sit here so strong is because of what I was doing before, right? But so that's why I said when I was minding my business, I was doing everything to stay away from cancer, right? And he can find me out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? So I just take it personal. So everybody that comes across cancer, I'm trying to save them so that cancer don't take them or it's moments like this, man. It's moments like this that make you want to fight even more. You know what I'm saying? This type of person I am. In a moment like this that make me want to fight even more. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we're doing here. We're coming together, you know what I'm saying? And then more and it's crazy the way I look at things because now it's like it's like we're becoming cancerous because the more people we empower, the bigger the network gets. Now the network becomes cancerous, right? In the sense of it multiplies, right? And it becomes bigger and bigger, right? So eventually, you know what I'm saying, cancer is gonna be afraid of us because we're multiplying, you know what I'm saying, on another level. So you know what I'm saying? My brain just flips it. Whatever is negative, I turn it into positive. You know what I'm saying? I use that as a fuel. I use that as energy. So you know what I'm saying? If you don't, if you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you want to, come for the ride, you know what I'm saying, just tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 p.m., you know what I'm saying, to collect some of this energy so you can share it with somebody else. Collect some of this information so you can share it with somebody else, with your family, with your friends, with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And one of the most important things that we always have to remember is why we come here is to remember that we gotta take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Go get checked up, go see a doctor once, twice a year. You know what I'm saying? Men, do what you gotta do to get in that placement because a lot of us men we wait too long. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. A strong mindset is necessary. That's right, my son. You know what I'm saying? So get out there. Get out there, get yourself together, get checked out. If you ain't got a primary, get a primary. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're, you know what I'm saying, you're young in your 30s, 40s, you know what I'm saying? Parents, you know what I'm saying? If you're older, tell your kids go get checked up. Kids, if you're hearing this, go tell your parents go get checked up. We have to start doing things to leave an impression, you know what I'm saying? The world as we see it is not perfect, but we can have an effect on it, right? We can change things. And that was always been my mindset because the world is not perfect for my kids, right? But whatever I can do to make it better for them to live in, I'm gonna do it. Or whatever I can do to make the world better for any of my family and friends, I'm gonna do it. So the world as it is not perfect, right? But there's so many of us that can have an impact that, you know, all we need to do is connect, you know what I'm saying, and have the same mind and push forward positivity and, you know what I'm saying, and unity and try to figure out exactly how to, in the best way to defeat cancer because cancer affects everybody differently, right? Cancer affects everybody differently, right? So first thing is to make sure you get your checkup, man. Go get your checkup. Blood work is very important. Cancer cells leave a tracer in your bloodstream. It leaves a tracer, right? Bad cells leave tracers in your bloodstream. Go get tested so you can find out what's going on in your body. At least just to know, oh, everything's here. My protein is good. This is that. Everything is, at least know that you're okay. This is what you need to go and get checked up for. You know what I'm saying? So at least go get checked up. You know what I'm saying? Continue to tap in Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. You know what I'm saying? So we can continue to build this community and share this message and continue to to show up for every day. Continue to make the best out of every day. Continue to stay positive and think ahead of what tomorrow is going to bring, what next week is going to bring, so you can be better prepared for it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like trading. If you're trading, you can't take advantage. If you're trading, you got to know, you got to be prepared of what might happen tomorrow, today. That's the only way you're going to be successful at trading, is to have an idea of how the day is going to move, right? Whether it's how high or how low, volatility, volume, whatever, but you have to have an idea of how the day is going to pan out in order so you can strategize how you're going to trade, right? So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Another wonderful live, you know what I'm saying? So stay positive, stay connected, you know what I'm saying? And keep spreading this awareness. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all.